Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Welcome aboard Southwest Flight 1050 with service over to Burbank, California, here in Shamu, the old Southwest SeaWorld livery on the 737-700. We're in X-plane this morning. We're looking at about an hour flight down south. I actually just flew the plane up, so everything's for the most part set up. We just need to run some checklists, make sure everything's on board. We'll go ahead and brief this flight here in a few seconds. Should be a very smooth flight. Welcome aboard, and I'll see you all in just a few minutes. Alright, I just went ahead and looked through the flight plan. Really absolutely no notes for our actual flight today. We've got 27.4 on the payload, which will be about 119 passengers aboard. 11.3, we just went ahead and called the fuel truck so you can see they're loading us up right now. And once that's done, they'll give us our percent Mach. Percent Mach is basically how these larger aircraft calculate their center of gravity, so don't worry too much about that. From there, I can get my trim set in. So we'll deal with all that in a second. Our routing, we're taking the Zephyr 9 departure, top altitude, flight level 190. Derby transition, really no notes other than 167 on the heading all the way until 4920, and then it's just going to be RNO after Derby. Now for our arrival into Burbank, it's actually going to be pretty nice. We're taking the Rocker 3 from the RNO transition. There are some altitude restrictions, we'll brief those en route. Now the nice thing is if we're landing runway 8, we're going to depart the star at Lakey, which is an IAF, an initial approach fix for the ILS Zulu. Weather looks absolutely beautiful. The NOTAMs are what we have to worry about. So Burbank, believe it or not, is closed to all GA or charter aircraft. We're not charter, so we're good. We're Part 121, so we'd be safe. Also at Reno, we are not allowed to take the depart runway 17 right. 17 right is closed, so we'll be taking 17 left today. Weather looks absolutely beautiful. When I departed Los Angeles this morning, it was very foggy. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore from all the latest weather reports around Burbank, so we should be okay. I'm going to guess that that was just convection fog from the coastline. So further inland where Burbank is, we should be safe. And on the Fahrenheit, it's going to be a minus 69 for the top of climb outside air temperature. We're going to go ahead and execute that. N1, we're going to use full power for this climb out due to the terrain around here. And takeoff, we'll just use flaps 5, 20.3 on the percent Mach. And there you go, we've got V1, 121, 124, and then V2 will be 131. Go ahead and set this to V2 plus 20, so 151 for oh, that's coarse, Jesus. 151 for the IAS, jeez, maybe I need some more coffee this morning. And let's see, for the RNO departure, or sorry, Zephyr 9 departure, I need to get my shit together. 167 on the heading. I see no adder. I see an adder above, but no adder below. It's just the top altitude of flight level 190 initially for this departure procedure. Now that that's loaded in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run through the checklist. This is going to take a few minutes. Let me just see what I can do by memory here. 37 for the this is our pressurization panel right here. So we're going to tell it that we're cruising at 3,700. Landing elevation is, let's see, airport elevation 778 at Burbank. So we can bring you all the way to, okay, if that'll work. Fuel is fine for now. I just have that one fuel pump on for the APU. What else is going on? Probes are going to stay on. I'm going to turn the windshield heat on for now. Oh shoot, these guys should have been turned off earlier. My bad. And the yaw damper can come on. And I believe that's all the memory items. So I'm going to run through the checklist. I'll be back with you guys in a minute. Trucks are already should be removed here in a second. Once we close this door, we're going to hide inside, close up the cockpit door, and we're going to take our seatbelt sign. Is going to come on as soon as I do that. And let's just go to ground services, make sure chocks are removed. And if I look outside, yep, everything's removed. Great. So we can go ahead and call the tow, let them know we're ready to connect. Okay, it sounds like they're removing the jet bridge right now. Parking brake set, everything's good to go. You'll notice sometimes these textures become very, very low res, and I don't know why. I've just noticed this recently when I got back into the sim not too long ago. Alright, we're going to run through the before start items. Before start, parking brake is set, all the ground surfaces are removed, and the jet bridge is disconnected. Fuel pumps are all coming on. I don't believe we have any center tanks, so we're going to leave those pumps off. Electric hydraulic switches are coming on, and we're going to go ahead and turn the anti-collision light on as well. That should get everybody to shut up and do their thing. We're going to go ahead and make sure this is set to takeoff and pilot monitor and set to leg, so that's great. I did set the staff trim, by the way. I forgot to do that.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, great. We've got our startup clearance. Engines. So for the engine start checklist, the KRNO is going to be turned on now. And we're going to go ahead and turn the packs off. All we got to do is switch you over to the right side. Make sure my engine systems are up here on standby, and we're going to open up the starter valve. Going to see good N2 rotation. Once that hits 25, we can go ahead and fire up our second engine. Or sorry, add fuel to our second engine. You hear it slowly start to run here. There we go, we're going to add fuel. You see GG's rising, N1's rising. So far, everything looking good. There's the start valve being shut off now. This engine, let's see, it's going to pop up at just over 500 on the EGT. Now it's settling back down. And we're going to go ahead and repeat this process for engine number 1. Alright, our pushback's been complete. We've got 2 good engines now. Everything looks stabilized there. We're going to go ahead and do the... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do some memorandums here. So generators are coming on. Probes need to come on. We got both probes to be on. Would be preferable. Packs are coming on. APU off. Isolation valve. And we can go ahead and turn the APU itself off. And we'll go ahead and set you guys to continuous. Down here, we're going to go ahead and set flaps now to 5 for the departure. And stabilizer trim's already set. And let's see, are they going to give me that hand signal yet? Yep, awesome. Thank you, guys. Let's go ahead and keep going here. 4 taxi probe switches verified are on. Anti-ice is not required. Pack switches are set to auto. Isolation valve is set to auto. APU bleed is off. The APU switch itself is off. The engine starts are set to continuous. MFD, we got to go ahead and turn the lower display off. And then we're going to set you to systems here. Flaps are set for takeoff. Transponder is already set. It's on BFR, but who cares? We're offline today. Alright, cool. We recalled the system. Nothing bad there. We're going to go ahead and go flight control check left, right, neutral back, forward, neutral left rudder, right rudder, neutral, speed brakes deployed. They look good too. Awesome. Okay, and now that's going to be it. We're just going to go ahead and turn off all these extra displays. Taxi light comes on, and we're going to go ahead and taxi on out of here to 17 left today. Go ahead and brief this departure. We are going to be taking runway 17 left today. That will give us 9,000 feet. If we have anything at all before 80 knots, we are going to go ahead and close the throttle, apply max reverse and max braking. Once we hit 80 knots, we will only be stopping for an engine fire or any loss of directional control indicating an engine failure. Once we hit 121, we are then committed to takeoff. We will rotate at 124, climb out at or above 131. Heading mode and deal with the issue in the air. Most likely we'll be returning to Reno. Otherwise, there'll be a V1 of 121, V2 of 120, or sorry, VR of 124, and the V2 of 131. Climb out at 151. Runway heading all the way to, I believe it was 9,400 feet, just to double check that for the Zephyr 9 departure. Sorry, 4,920 feet. And then will be direct Zephyr. Alright, and we're just now getting ready to cross 17 right. Left is clear. And it looks like the right FO will just say is clear. I mean, we're offline, but it's still just a good practice that I like to have. Yeah, right's clear, left's clear, and we're clear to cross. Now that we're getting over to the hold short point, we're going to go through our takeoff checklist. The recall needs to be double checked. Yep, we've got no alerts. Great. Landing lights are going to go ahead and come on. Turn-offs on, taxi light off, strobes coming on. And the light coming on.
The cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
And once we enter the runway, let's see. Our auto throttle is coming armed. Final clear. Runway clear. We're clear for takeoff. 17 left. Great. So once we get lined up here, all I'm going to do is I always do a static takeoff just because I have to set my view. You'll see what I mean in a second. In order to press the toga mode, I have to change my view, and I don't like doing that while I'm rolling. So here we go. We're lined on 17 right. Time off is 10:46 my time, which is not local, but shut up. We'll go ahead and stop. 17 looks good, and we'll increase to 40% power there. Let it stabilize. Maybe a little bit more than that. There we go. There we go. That's 40% stabilized. We'll go down here. Toga. Releasing brakes now. Guarding the trim tab. Forward pressure on the stick. Engine power is set. Airspeed coming alive. Eighty knots. We're going to continue. V1 and rotate. And V2.
Stiff right.
Positive right climb, gear up.
Gear up.
There's our 150. We'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and turn things on once we pass that 4900, because that's when we need to put LNAV on. LNAV, N1, and we're going to turn the autopilot on. Oh, it's not going to turn on because I forgot I need to retrim it.
1000.
Yeah, I know, I'm retrimming it right now. Alright. Shut up. And autopilot on now. There we go, that's better. Now it's LNAV direct separate. And we're on climb out mode. Yeah, so for this airplane, you need to trim it. Otherwise, if you are applying any pressure at all when the autopilot engages, it's just not going to stay. So anyways, we can go ahead and start to increase this now to a 2, up to 240. And we can work that first notch of flaps up. And now we can get ready to switch some of these off. And land gear off. As we speed up, we'll work the rest of the notches and flaps up. All flaps to 1. And flaps all the way up. Alright, great. We can double check. Let's see, our pressurization. Yep, cabin altitude slowly increasing, which is good. Let's go through our climb checklist. Landing gear verified is up, and the autopilot's on command A. Flaps are up, and landing gear is off. The auto brakes are off, and the engine starts are off. Barometric pressure will be set upon passing flight level 180, and anti-ice is not required at this time. We are already getting ready to pass 10,000 feet, so I'm going to go ahead and increase you to 280 on the speed. To come off. Once we accelerate, I'll go ahead and turn the seatbelt signs off. So, lights off, seatbelt sign will be off once we get a little faster. I just want to make sure there's no bumps at all before I do that. APU verified is in fact off. The center fuel pumps are going to remain off for this trip. And that'll be the climb checklist complete. We are on our way to Burbank. Alright everyone, I'm currently 80 miles out from our top descent. We're about to pass Phrase, or whatever the hell you call this thing. We're going to be just going through this descent checklist real quick. So I already went ahead and briefed this and made sure, double checked and made sure that all of these legs and altitude restrictions are correct, both for the star and for the approach plate. So we'll start descent right after Reberg, and then this will just basically VNAV will follow these restrictions. 280 at Maid isn't really a thing. For some reason VNAV wanted us to slow down to 240 and then accelerate to 270. I'm like, that's stupid, we're gonna keep 280, keep the speed all the way through that. And speaking of Phrase or whatever the hell, there you go, you can see that transferred over. This will take us all the way to Mikey. For Mikey, Silix will be the, so Mikey's our initial approach fix. Silix we get established on localizer. We do have to stay a little bit high for Van Nuys airspace, then we'll hopefully capture this by Buddy, and from Buddy we can, in fact actually let me just double check real quick. I think it's, yeah, Buddy will be 3,000, that should, or actually no, we're going to capture the glide before Buddy, which is probably why this says a lower altitude here. If we don't have the glide slope by Buddy, we can descend down to 3,000 for Buddy, and then after Buddy we get down to 1160. That got a little bit complicated there. Basically, for our approach, assuming we have the glide slope, which will basically be a vertical path that we get right here that takes us all the way down to the runway, if we have that glide slope, we can start our descent before Buddy as long as we're following that glide slope. If we don't have the glide slope, we have to stay at 3,000 all the way to Buddy, then start our descent down to a localizer. Minimums, the MDA we call it, basically descend down to an altitude and fly that till the missed approach point. That'll be 1160. Otherwise, our ILS minimums will be 1,075, so a little bit lower. Not by much, though, only by about like 80 feet-ish. I need to go ahead and put our approach ref. We're going to be using flaps 30 today, and that'll give me a VREF of 130, which is fine, and I don't think there's really any wind today. Alright, 1075 now set for our minimums. And what else do we have here? The course knob checked, barometric pressure checked, minimums checked. The selector will be baro. And the auto brakes, we'll go and set it to 3, why not? Just fucking slam it down. And let's see, it looks like our first altitude restriction will be 290 or above, so I'm going to go ahead and just set that on standby. And that will be the before descent checklist complete. And I'll see you guys all as we get a little closer. Rocker though, which will be here in just a second, we need to bring it down to 250, so we gotta keep that in mind. In fact, actually, you know what, let's bring it down to 250 now. I mean, why not? So there you go, that should start to gradually slow us down to 250. I figured since we're going to be past 10,000 a second, a couple things are going to happen. I'm going to turn the seatbelt sign on, and we got to go ahead and look at our approach procedure. Let's go ahead and review this approach procedure. It's going to be 109.5 for the localizer, 079 on the approach course, 5,800 feet of runway. What does that mean? That means we don't really have a lot to mess around with. We could do the performance, but I know we'll be okay. Don't do this in real life. Legal disclaimer, do not just say, fuck it, we'll be fine in real life. The localizer is unusable within 0.9 miles of the runway, so we'll keep that in mind. Straight into 8 and 9, we're not doing this at night. And it looks like that's the only note that applies to us. The rest are all circle in and night procedures. And we have enough visibility. The weather, I'll go ahead and show you guys right now. We're looking at winds are variable at 3, clear skies and 11 miles of clear skies and 10 miles of visibility. We can go ahead and throw VNAV back on now. Go ahead and keep reviewing this approach plate here. The mist will be up to 1,300. Then we can make a right turn to 4,600. We're going to be following. We're going to be intercepting a radial Ventura, but we've got RNAV equipment to help us along with that, and then we'll hold at Ventura and we meet the minimum climb gradient, so that's good. We're going to cross Mikey at 7,000, descend down to 3,700 for Silix, then after Silix down to 3,000, intercept the glide slope, and then from there ILS minimums will be 1075. If we don't have the glide, we're going to go ahead and stay at 3,000 to Buddy, then go down to 1160 for the MDA. This approach will be 0.9 from DME from the localizer. Hopefully that sounds okay to you guys. It looks like we're about to pass the 9,000 foot, or no, actually we can get down to 8,000 here. And then after this, we can get down to 7 for Mikey. And I really want to be at 7,000 for Mikey, so we might have to increase this a little bit. Continuing with the descent checklist, we were passing 10,000 feet. We just passed 10,000. We can go ahead and turn these lights on. Speed check below 250.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a
And
good
go ahead
flight.
and turn the engines to continuous. Lights are set. Emergency switches to continuous, or engine start switches, sorry, to continuous. Barometric pressure set 3010 and cross-checked all 3. Beautiful. Let's see, we're trying to get down to 7,000. Not too sure if that's going to happen. Let's go get the next 2 notches of flaps in. So flaps to 2. Once that stabilizes, we'll go ahead and bring flaps to 5. And that's Mikey. Yeah, we're about 1,000 above. All right, now we need to actually get down to 37 for this next portion of the trip, and it looks like this should be okay. So we're gonna hold 180, and we've got the ILS already set up, so that's good. Now I should be able to intercept the localizer. I just can't intercept the glide yet. So the reason I can't intercept the glide is because this is an ILS. There is a risk if you intercept too high, like right now we are pretty high, that we could intercept the false glide slope, and that will put us down just a little bit too steep. So we're speed check below 200. I'm going to bring flaps, the next notch of flaps in now, and that'll help slow us down even more. And with heading select on, I'm going to go ahead and once we see this come alive, yep, coming alive, we're going to go ahead and arm the localizer. There we go, localizer's armed. Once we pass 37, I can go ahead and get this down to 3 to intercept the glide slope. So that'll be good. And I'm going to go ahead and track the speed brakes now. And bring you down to 160. And we can go ahead and bring flaps to 15. Yeah, so the good news is we're not too high. I mean, we already see the glides alive, but we're going to level off at 3 in a second and capture this. So that's how we know that this is the correct glide slope. So we'll be safe there. That's good. Alright. Minimums are going to be with the ILS. It looks like that glides alive. So the ILS should be 1075. Missed approach will be up to 1300, then the right turn to 4600. So once this levels off, I'll go ahead and use that to bleed off the speed. Looks like that's probably Van Nuys right there. So we'll stay 3000 to intercept that. I don't know why I'm getting a gear horn right now, but oh, because this is alive. Yeah, that's fine. We can bring the gear down. Usually I like to wait until the glide slope capture, but that's fine. Yeah, it's because the radio altimeter is alive. I think I don't have a type rating in this plane, so don't quote me on that. Alright, gears down, 3 green. Speed brakes are out, and we'll go ahead and arm them. Turnoff's coming on. These guys are set to continuous. Flight 10 is seated for landing, and VREF is going to be 130. Alright, we'll go ahead and arm approach mode. So for the approach mode, you have to arm it from above, or from below, I mean, and then capture it as it sinks down. Just something to be aware of. Something that I've learned very recently. Alright, we're going to go ahead now and take the auto throttles ourselves and bring this down to VREF. We're going to go flaps 25 and then flaps 30 here in a second as we reduce to VREF. We're on the glide, so local ILS minimums will be 1075. And I'm going to go flaps 30. Flaps 30, gears down in 3 green. The lights are all set up. And the autopilot, we got to set that to 4600 for the mist. Speed brakes are armed, auto brake set, beautiful. And we'll use anywhere from 130 to 135 will be acceptable, so we can fly a little bit faster than that for now. Down to 2300. We're passing 2300 right now. Flaps are set to 30. Keep in mind, a bit of a short runway here. And that looks like the runway in sight. Yeah, a bit of a fog layer. I mean, like I said, departing LA this morning, it was very foggy. I thought it looked like it cleared up. I mean, this is 10 miles of visibility, to be fair, so. Alright, we're passing 19 for 1075. I'm going to go ahead and take the airplane myself for now. And the reason I like to do that is because I know I've made the runway, so I'm not going to be struggling to throw everything back on if we have to go missed. Which, I mean, we could still go missed, but still. And then it just gives me a chance to feel out this airplane. I like this airplane so far from my few flights I've done so far in it. It's very stable. I shouldn't speak too soon, though. Watch me botch this landing. just gonna give it a little bit more trim. I really just fly this thing with the trim, honestly, is what I've been doing so far. Just fly it with the trim. There's 1200. You're down 3 green flap set. Beautiful.
Approaching minimums.
Yeah, we've got the field. We're landing.
Minimums.
Landing. And we're down to 131 right now, which is going to be good for us. And we've got the field made, so this is going to be good as well. Come on, you. Down you go. Just nurse her down a little bit low. That's okay. It's okay because I'm a little bit high, and let her down right here. I'm going to start to work a little bit of power out, and I know in a second I'm going to slam down, hold this off,
10.
and right on the touchdown, reverser's coming on, and we're going to go ahead and use some brakes here. There we go, that's at 80. I'm going to go ahead and close the throttle, or close the reversers I should say, disengage the reversers, and well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Burbank. I don't know where Southwest parks here, honestly. Shit, how do I even exit this? Am I just going to turn off the runway and then go... yeah, you know what? Why not? Sorry, guys. I'm very unfamiliar with Burbank. Alright, taxi light, landing light. I feel like in real life they'd probably give you like a vector around or something. I don't even know where to park here. I don't even see a gate. We're going to park it here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Burbank. I have a feeling this isn't what they do in real life, but my fault for not actually getting good scenery for this place. All right, that's okay. I've got stairs, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna park it right here. Wow. Okay. We're gonna park it right here. Tell the ground crew we're gonna be a minute. So parking brakes on, flaps are up. I need to run through a checklist. Turn the APU on. So the APU is going to take a minute to start, so we can't even shut down right now anyways. We'll shut off the left side engine for now. Alright, after landing checklists are going to be the speed brakes, the auto brakes need to come off, speed brakes are retracted, flaps are up, and the APU is on, probe heats, engine starts back to off, taxi lights off, wing light can come off, you guys are going to be set off, position lights I already just set, and the flight directors can come off, speed set back to 0, taxi clearance no need, we just gave ourselves clearance. Shutdown, taxi light verified is off, and the parking brake is set. The APU generator, we just need to let that stabilize, then I can go ahead and shut off here. Isolation valve is open. Now that's not what I wanted to do. Right? Isolation open, and the APU bleed airs are going to be on. Alright, there you go, APU gen on, and I can go ahead now and stop the timer, and the engine is going to be off. And the seatbelt sign can come off. And I guess that's it. Anti-collision light. I guess we have to wait till we're below a certain N2, but blah, 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 blah. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Burbank. I just need to go ahead and finish the checklist and let everybody off. Oh. So, fun fact, speed brakes were in fact not retracted. Why are my... Oh, because I... Alright, that's better. Okay, so what I've noticed is that you can have the stairs connected, you just can't open the door. So basically everyone has to jump off. Alright, sounds good. Well, that's going to be our flight to Burbank today. I hope you all enjoyed that. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and let me know if you have any suggestions on what to do next time. Really not too much to debrief. Overall flight was smooth. Obviously very rushed there on the exit. Maybe I should have studied that chart a little bit better than I did. I don't know. I also don't know what the procedures are for exiting here at Burbank, so... Oh well, I'm gonna guess they don't just go straight into the gate like I did there. Anywho, I hope you all enjoyed that, and thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, go and leave a like, and maybe consider subscribing. It helps out a lot. Oh, and one other thing, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a live stream this Saturday. So if you want to tune into that, probably on YouTube and or Twitch. I haven't decided yet. It should be fun. So I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do. We'll figure that out when the time comes. All right, see you guys all very, very soon, and have a good one, everybody.